Hi, today I wanted to demonstrate a mobile device management solution to you known as FAMOC. The vendor is called Fancyphone and they are a vendor based in Poland. They're a relatively small vendor but rapidly growing, and the product in my opinion is very good, and it's why I wanted to show you it today. So if we log in and we can start the demo. So as soon as we log in, we see the wizard. The wizard will help you initially set up the device, but we're going to cross this off and have a look at the product itself. So the main two tabs at the top are the FAMOC tab and My Account tab. The My Account tab is an area you set up usually once and then you leave it alone and don't usually change anything inside it. So the first submenu in My Account tab is Users, so this is where all the users are populated, and if you integrate it with LDAP or Active Directory, it's populated for you. So this is where you'd manage all the users of mobile devices. I'm going to quickly run over this section because it's not really that interesting as compared to the FAMOC tab. So organisation is where you'd set up your organisation. By the way, the product itself is able to do multi-tenancy, so you can set up multiple organisations, and each organisation can manage their own set of devices, and they can't see each other's devices. User details, this is details about the administrator, and it's the administrator can change their password and some basic details on the administrator itself. Groups is where you'd set up multiple groups, and then you could apply lots of users to different groups, and then later on use them in policies. Imports is where you'd um, integrate it with Active Directory or LDAP. And finally, we get dictionaries and roles. In particular, roles is used so you could give different management roles to the product for management. So if we go into the main section, which is the FAMOC section, which is the section you'd spend 95+% of your time in, the dashboard screen is the first screen you come to, which is the summary screen, and it gives you an overall status of the device itself. Um, Although there's not much information here, I do have some screenshots to show you which are a little bit better to look at. So there's more data within these screenshots. Unfortunately, this product I'm showing you today, there's nothing really in it or no device provision to it, apart from a made up one that I made earlier today. So if we go to the devices tab, this is where you'd manage the devices. This one is one that I just manually created. And if we hit the manage button, you can see some gobbledygook information that I've just made up. But usually when you provision a device, all this information is populated for you. So the initial provisioning, which a user does themselves, and the agent will pick up all this information and populate for you. Here is some further subtabs where you can manage the device itself. In particular, the security tab is a good tab where you can report the device as stolen, or you can produce a data wipe of the device, or a full enterprise wipe, which means wipe the full device, and the data wipe means just wipe the data portion of the device. Backup is where you could back up the device, so you can back up the contacts, the calendar, SMS, and folders. So you've got to set these up beforehand, which is done in the backup section up here somewhere. Actually, it's within the configuration section, and then there's a submenu for backup. SIM cards, you manage SIM cards from here. Device monitor, ability to monitor the device, alerts on the device, login on the device. You can install different types of agents on the device, and it'll show you which ones are installed on the device. Applications, so you can see which applications are installed on the device and manage them. You can manage the users assigned to the device, and this gives the device details, gives you some information on the device itself. SIM cards up here, which is the next tab. This is just information on the set of SIM cards that you have imported into the database. So this is the main section, the config center, and this is the section you'd spend most of your time in. So going to the agents, agents are required on the device to be able to manage the device. Certificate is used for secure connectivity, so everything is encrypted from the device to the fancy phone server. The base agent is the initial agent you install on the device to be able to manage the device. So that's the key agent before you can do anything with the device. Once that's on, you can remotely manage the device. Remote access, you can take remote control of the device itself, which is this is supported on specific platforms. Unfortunately, this one is not available for iOS devices. Backup agent is for the ability to back up the device. Security agent, so you could produce certain security functions such as device swipe. Location monitor gives you the ability to see where the device is on a map. Audit agent, so you could collect audit information about the device. And secure source is something I'm not really familiar with. And it's FAMOC secure source empowers users to remotely access documents. Okay, so that's in a basic sentence what it does. And if we go back up, the next tab is the application tab, so we can add applications to the device. We can browse to the application, select the file, or we can just install the application from the App Store and specify the download link so the device can download it from iTunes itself. We can also specify further information down here, such as licenses. The application may need a license before it's able to be used by the device. So we'll go to the next tab, which is the heart of the product and where all the main policies are. In particular, if we add a configuration policy, the iPhone policy is probably the most interesting one, simply because the FAMOC server supports iPhone more than any other product. So if we select that, we can see all the policies we can set up for the iPhone. So the passcode is the first one we'll look at. So you can set up different passcode policies, such as minimum number of complex characters, maximum passcode age, automatic lock-in, grace period for device lock, etc. And device functionality, so we can allow use of camera or we can disallow it. Automatic syncing while roaming, allow of Siri, allow in-application purchases, multiplayer gaming, allow screenshots. So we can set up all these for the iPhone or iPad devices. Restrictions, applications, so allow use of Safari browser. If you add the item, you can enable submenus for the Safari browser as well. Allow use of YouTube or iTunes, so we can block these, or we can allow these. iCloud, so we can manage iCloud, so allow to use iCloud backup and the rest of the settings for the iCloud. Security and privacy, so manage the security and privacy of the device. And if we go scroll right down, you've got lots of other areas where you could set up policies for the device, such as lock device to a single application and then specify the application name. Wireless LAN network the device connects to. We can specify the wireless LAN settings, including the protocol settings, and etc. Email, so add an email account for the device. HTTP proxy settings, if the device goes through a web proxy. An exchange server, you may want to configure an exchange server for the device to connect to download corporate email. Specify an LDAP server, CalDAV, subscribe calendars. So there's quite a lot of settings that you could send down to the device. Certificates, so if the device required a certificate, for example, the exchange server certificate, so it could securely connect to the exchange server for authentication, that can be done from here. VPN configuration, so the device supports, the FAMOC server supports layer 2 tunneling protocol, point-to-point tunneling protocol, Cisco VPN, as well as Cisco AnyConnect. and something known as access point name configuration, so we can configure this as well. So going to the next tab, which is SMS tab. The SMS is usually used to initially provision the device. For non-iOS devices, we would send an SMS message, and they would follow the instructions within the SMS message to provision the device. For iPhone devices or iOS devices, that could be iPads as well, we'd set up something called the bootstrap, where the user browses to our URL from the device and downloads the certificate and the agent, and then from there we're able to manage the device. So the backup tab enables us to apply a backup pattern. We could apply backing up of contacts, calendars, SMSs and folders. We can also specify the maximum size. Packages. So packages used for packaging all these settings together. So for example, agents, applications, configuration, SMS backup. There's lots of configuration profiles here. We may want to, rather than sending each configuration profile to a device, we can package them all together into one package and send the whole package to the device itself. So this is where you'd add the applications and the agents, and we can also specify some other criteria such as action performance. Maybe you'd install an application and then wait 30 seconds and then install another application or an agent or something, so it's quite configurable. And if your organization is very large, we can also package packages up together into sets of packages. So the next tab is the remote access. And remote access, there's nothing in here, but I'll show you some screenshots very shortly. It enables us to remotely access the device. The log tab enables us to view logs about the device. Location tab enables us to see where the device is located on a map. Again, I'll show you screenshots of these shortly. Alerts, so we can see alerts of the device. Alerts are configurable as well. So if we go into settings, there's quite a lot of miscellaneous sort of settings: audit policies, security policies, backup policies, in particular alerts. Here's the alerts area, and you can enable and disable these. A good one is somewhere down here, jailbreak warning for device, so you can see you can be alerted on when a device has been jailbroken. And finally, the reports tab gives you ability to report on statistics for the device. There's quite a lot of reports here, so some very useful information you can gather from these reports. So if we quickly have a look at some screenshots with some real data in it. So this is the dashboard screen, overall summary. So it shows you devices added, devices removed, SIM card changes in devices, unread alerts for different platform devices, and the different platform devices managed by the system. The next screenshot shows the devices tab, so all the devices we can manage. If we click on one of these manage buttons, we come to the next screenshot, which shows just an iPhone device. Moving on to the next screenshot, we can see it's a Symbian, a Nokia E72 device on the Symbian operating system, and we see some order information here. The next screenshot is a Windows Mobile 6 device, and the tab in particular it's showing is the device monitor, so we can see some further info down here about the device monitor of the device. The next screenshot is a BlackBerry Bold, and it's in particular the log tab, so it shows logs just for this device itself. So all these tabs show just the information for this device itself, where if you had clicked the log tab up here, it shows logs for all devices. So yeah, so this is more specific just to this particular device or particular device and device user. So the next tab is remote access. So these are the devices you can remotely access, and if you click on one of these, it will take you to a screen like this where you can remotely access the device, remotely access the configuration device, the raw data folders of the device. The next tab shows the next screenshot or tab, which is the location tab, shows you the way we can locate the device. In particular, this one is selected, so this user has been shown on the map here, so we can physically see where it is on the map. And alerts tab shows the alerts for the device, and this is the area I was showing you previously, where within settings you can configure the types of alerts you want to view or you wanted to disable. Okay, so this section here is when you send a configuration out to a device, you can select. So when you send a configuration, you can select which devices you'd like to send that particular configuration to, and you can add the devices here, and then you can send the configuration out to the devices. So if we go back into the FAMOC console and we go to the config center, configuration, we'll click on send configuration. We can select the device here. That's not selectable because it's not a real device and there's no agent installed on it, but otherwise it would appear here, and we can select multiple ones, and then we can send this to the device, or we can even schedule it for a later date or a later time. So the next screenshot is back to the original screenshot I've showed you. That's it from me. I think we've seen most of what the FAMOC server can do and can provide, and it does seem like a very good feature-rich product. So hope you've enjoyed the demo, and thank you for watching.